Hey everyone, Andrew with Liquid Proust here, and today's video is specifically around something that I've been doing for years. I get most excited about this over everything else because it talks about the journey that I went through and that everybody more than likely ought to go through if they have the option. And so that is the Puerh beginner packages. This is a community ran thing now. It used to just be specifically through me, and while I'm the one facilitating it, it does not work without other people helping. So what is the beginner packages project that I'm talking about? Well, back in 2016, I really wanted to do what happened for me, and that's kickstart those into Puerh. And the reason that I do this is because my first experience into Puerh wasn't good. I was in college. I bought a 99-cent with e-packet shipped to me little thing of those tochas, the mini tochas. I brewed a little show, which is poor quality back then, for about 3 minutes in a cafeteria during college. Tried it, tasted like something that cows would probably produce on a field, and immediately decided that Puerh was not for me. That's a bad example of what Puerh can be, and through the years we've been able to build packages of about 50 to 100 grams of different Puerhs, because my own belief is that you cannot find what you're looking for right away unless you're one of those very few lucky people. There's raw Puerh, there's ripe Puerh, and then there's even Heicha, which I've kind of expanded on here too, which within all those with storage, age, type, processing style, it's an ongoing lifelong journey to find the ones that you enjoy and really dive into them. So with the beginner package, because part of that comes down to how much it costs to get into this type of stuff. And to be honest, I don't think people should have to pay, $300 to find out if something's for them. So we make these packages that honestly at $5 plus shipping, you can find out pretty quickly, is this something that you think you'll be part of? So it's pretty simple, right? You have take for here, it's just a regular tea cake, 357 grams. I can split this up and 25 to 30 people can try just this one. And then this one will give an example of potentially one style, like a Sheng Puerh that's 5 years old from Chinese storage. That's one example. Then we've got things like this, where I've got a bucket, and I'll split this out. This right here is a Sichuan purple leaf Puerh, so it's quite a bit different. I've already broken this up. It's been in here for I think 17 months. I conditioned it with Deva, and it's just doing its thing. So those are just a few examples, right? And the list goes on. So, the way that this works is I bring on a lot of stuff. So, there's 3 cakes, there's 4 cakes, there's 5 cakes, right? 6 cakes, going through. Then you've got them that come in here. We've got Maucha. I got 2 ripe cakes that I broke up and sampled to see if I wanted to bring them on. Sometimes you find really good deals when I bring this in, so I'll get a tong, open it up, find out this is alright tea, but probably not something I'm going to put on my shop. But I bought a tong for the pricing, so this will end up going to the Puerh packages for the beginners. Now, that's just your typical single cakes, and this is where the community comes in. You just say, well, looks like you have quite a bit there. You guys don't understand. When I'm sending close to 100 grams per person out to the world, it's a lot. We are doing 500 plus packages every time we do this. It's a pretty insane project. So, I just want to illustrate, what I'm bringing on. So we've got those cakes, we'll put aside. The Maucha we'll put aside. We've got these cakes broken up. Sometimes it's things like this, where I've got 2 cakes here from a brand that I've been drinking different things from. These 2 cakes are broken up. There's a top cake piece here that I drank the rest of. That's going to go to the side, right? We'll end up trying those out. Then we've got something like this. This is a 2006 Chung Tai from Hong Kong. And the storage is always going to be different. It's not just going to be something that would be easily accessible. We might have Taiwanese storage, Malaysian storage, to get a well-rounded picture of everything. Then we've got samples of stuff. So down here you could see, that's a 2006 Yao Bao cake. There's a Bohitan cake. And these are just extras. I have no problem putting them out there. Then we get to, where I've sampled stuff for my site, and it just didn't meet the qualifications for whatever reason. We've got some dry stored Hong Kong stuff here. We've got some wet stored Hong Kong stuff here. And I think I've mixed both Hong Kong storages and this, and you probably can't read it, but I labeled this off at the end of last year to put aside for a project like this. I really like these. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 cakes in here, so we've got 8 cakes in there. Then, you know, same thing here, except these were more Taiwanese stored. What I was hoping to have, like, just straight really, really good teas to bring out of the shop, they ended up being mediocre, which is fine. That happens a lot, right? I'll put this to the side over there. Then I've got some 2016 Yiwu. I bought a whole tong of this. I actually like some of it, so I drank through some. And then we've got the rest there. And then for like, you know, outside of that, there's even samples. So I started using these jars to put them in. So like those little samples that you get from shops here or there. To be honest, for what I've got, I won't end up getting to these. So I know what I want. I don't particularly, there might be really, really good teas in here, right? There's some 2004 wet stored Hong Kong. This right here is a 1970s thing from a Taiwanese collector that I enjoy. So, and I just pass these along. So this jar got filled. I label it by putting Puerh samples for beginners. The lighting can't see that. And now I'm working on my second jar right here. But that's not it. This is just, you know, cakes that we've got and samples, right? So it continues to keep going. This won't facilitate 500 to 1,000 people that are going to be in this group buy. We keep going. I've got boxes like this where, you know, we've got more samples in it, just like this. I've got the ends of cakes. Then, you know, you pull out, and then in here, for example, there's just going to be baggies. And I'm just going through just kind of how the process works. So I'll have, these are the Dai 0622. I don't think these are all that great, to be honest, so I'm not going to sell samples of them. They're fairly inexpensive. I got them to see if the Taiwanese storage would be good. They got a little smoke residual going on. I think they sat around some Mengku or Shaguan cakes from the seller that also sells this stuff. So we've got boxes like this. And then, you know, it just keeps going because I've got another box right here. And then I actually piled some up from last year. So then we've got more boxes. So we're going to set this to the side. Set this to the side. And then we'll just... And then, I mean, I've got boxes like this as well, where I labeled it so I wouldn't open it, because if I do, this will rip. But we'll just rip this real quick anyways. So, and then this is just a box of just extremely random, and you'll see how random it is. So it's just baggies of all kinds of stuff, so things that I go through. That right there is a Gab Poo cake that I drank through. This right here is Camphor Lao Chateau. This right here is Maucha from 2021. This right here is the Hong Kong Henry 2003, so that's the ends of it. We got some more. I mean, it's just a plethora of different things from all over. And so this all gets thrown together into an area. We separate for the beginner packages. What will end up happening is I'll have some people come help me, and we will put together an area of ripe pu'er, raw pu'er, and then I will try to see how much Maucha and Heicha I can get, because I always like to do like 3 ripe, 3 raw, and then a Heicha, Maucha, and then something really crazy. In the years past, I had so many wrappers, like for 150 people, they all got a wrapper within their package. But you gotta imagine when you do 1,000 of these, 1,000 wrappers is pretty tough. So, all that being said, chances are if you're watching me, you are probably into the Pu'er world and all this stuff. So, what can you do to help? I'll be honest. Your awareness is one thing. The engagement with the community is another. You can sponsor people, let me know. You could buy a package for a friend and get it sent to them. But honestly, the number one thing that's really pushing this forward and helping me a lot is things like this. Do you have cakes just sitting around that no longer you're going to potentially find joy in? You know, those... Did you ever buy those, you know, $10 to $15 cakes that just aren't, you know, hitting the mark anymore? Or stuff like this. Do you have samples just sitting around that you know, like, yeah, maybe one day you'll get to it? Let's be honest, they're not going to age. A 2016 sample that you got 2 years ago, if it sits around for 10 years, it's not going to be better, right? I mean, it's going to just kind of do its thing. So if you ever have samples like this and you want to pass them on, if you've got cakes like this, you want to pass it on, I'll be creative. If you want to try to work out a deal with me, let me know. I am going to need a lot. And so that comes down to, you know, when does this all go down? I have been for the last few years doing this around November with the idea that, you know, and I live in the United States and these get sent around all over the world. I like the idea of people getting these packages towards the winter time period Also towards the time period when there's holidays, so that they can have some time to sit down with 5, 6 teas, just blast through them, find out, do you like raw? Do you like ripe? Do you like old? Do you like fresh? You know, what is it that they particularly like? And given the price point, it shouldn't be a hard thing to add into a budget, right? I think with $5 plus shipping, you know, most packages are probably like $8.43, maybe with inflation, like $9.56 with shipping now, something like that, because it's 6 to 7 ounces when packed. And yeah, so I'm just basically saying, guys, I'm gonna need help. I love this project. If you want to come out to Columbus and then, you know, physically do this with me, you are more than welcome. Let me know. If you want to send, you know, Puerh in itself to help with this project, shoot me a message. Let me know. Other than that, I really, 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 really would recommend reading about the journey. I mean, I'll put the links below. I think it's really cool to look at and just to see how it's progressively grown and how we've brought more people into a hobby and passion that can be pretty hard and pretty intimidating, right? And that's one thing that I find the beauty in is people say, hey, I don't know which 5 or 6 teas to spend $50 on to find out, do I like this hobby, before they even have the teaware, the right stuff to make their water if they're going that route, right? Cups. There's so many different little pieces that go into where we're all at in our journey, that something like this, getting 5 to 10 samples like this, can literally change the entire trajectory of who they potentially can be within the Puerh community. So with your guys' help, we're going to be on year 7, which is really cool. 7 years of doing this. I don't even know what the total number that we've got out to is. I couldn't keep track. We were at like, I don't know, 56 plus countries at some point, which was super exciting too. I've seen this go out to literally almost everywhere, which has been really fun. So let me know if you'd like to help, how you can help. Let's be creative. I want to see this keep going. My goal is to shoot for November time period when I've got dates set for people to come over, and we'll go through this. And this is the majority of what I have. I'll be honest, it's not like I got a bunch hiding anywhere. So we're going to be looking for quite a bit. And to be honest, I might just be buying some. So if you know good deals, or if you know some vendors, not going to say who, but, you know, who post all those sample packages they got laying around Mayleaf, you know, maybe see if they want to help out. I don't care. I'm going to use you guys as a community to help this grow. So anyways, a little bit of a different video, just a one-shot quick thing. Again, let me know, you know, what you like about these videos, what I could do better, if you have questions, if you have content you want to see, all that stuff. Other than that, hey guys, I really appreciate you. I don't know if another vendor's told you lately, but I love you. I don't know if anybody else is telling you that. Everything that you do, whether it's seen or unseen within the community, is appreciated. It's valued. Don't ever forget that. So if you're in the Discord and you're just a silent person observing, cool, great. It's a chaotic place, I get that. But if you're coming in there and trajectorying, you know, providing comments and whatnot, I appreciate that. But yeah, until next time, I believe the next one's going to be me using, what is it, Vanta 3.0 or whatever? I'm going to paint a teapot as dark as possible. That'll be fun, I hope. I got my foot in this video, though, by the way. Okay, we're done.